I try to look at the film, but I go back to when we were making it. I don't know. What I feel, I guess, is some satisfaction and always the wish to do it better. Also, it's something that television made possible, because when we look at something in our home, we get up and move around and eat, talk on the phone. The young generation brings that with them. But they'll do better later. Well, I think in the history of art, violence has always figured, whether in the great poetry, in the epic poem, in the plays of the past, in the paintings of the past. You could say Sebastian. It was a violent time in the United States, and it was again a violent time when we made the film. There was the Vietnam War going on. If we're going to represent life as it is lived, violence is a strong ingredient, particularly in my memory, the Italian neorealists right after the war. Well, there were two reactions. One was the reaction of Warner Brothers, and they said, this is a piece of shit. They showed it to the audiences, and they couldn't stop. No, I came to movies late in my life. But when I was a young man, I was in the war, so I was a soldier for three years. And then after that, I went to the university for 4 years. And so I didn't have any interest in film. I began working in television. I woke up one day and became a director of television. What happened was that television, at that point, became so popular that people didn't go to the movies. And the studios went crazy. So what their decision was to come to New York, where the television directors were, and hire them to make films. So a lot of us were taken out to Hollywood. Anyway, there were many of us. So now to your question, what does film mean to me? It was the discovery of my life. And what it means to me, I guess, is it's the art form of our time. It's a remarkable medium. One of the things I never really understood properly, and I don't to this day, is the impulse to genocide. And in this century, we have seen a lot of it. It's through human history. But I was determined to at least say to the American people, we must not do this. These are human beings, as we are. Nobody has ascendancy over anybody else. So I read this book, and I thought, that's the film I want to make. It took me 6 years to get the money because of the prejudice of Hollywood, because for them, the Indian, the indigenous, was always the bad guy. So we have to be better to each other. The story that I would try to tell is the story of, I think, the misuse of power that we all have experienced, and now we are experiencing it with this man in the White House. It's absurd.
Es absurdo.
And it might be a comedy. I don't think I have a favorite movie. There are so many great movies. When you get as old as I am, it gets hard to pick one. No, there are real masters. Fellini, Bergman, and fortunately, we have the director of the Madrid Cinematheque here, whose life is all like that. Maybe he could answer. My heart soars like a hawk. Well, I have to thank you and the audience and the people here in Morelia. It's a splendid festival. I've been to many. Very, very few are as pleasant as well run, and as serious about film as this one is.
La Coordinación de Difusión Cultural de la UNAM, a través de la Dirección General de Actividades Cinematográficas y en el marco del V Festival Internacional de Cine de Morelia, otorga al realizador Arthur Penn la medalla Filmoteca UNAM por su importante contribución a la cultura cinematográfica. Por mi raza, hablará el espíritu. Muchas gracias, felicidades, maestro.
Yes, thank you all.
Muchas gracias a todos, muchas gracias.
This is a very meaningful award to me because it comes from film.
Para mí este es un premio muy significativo porque proviene del cine.
Usually, when I have the other occasions to go to a festival, I end up with a big, monstrous thing that I can't take with me.
Normalmente en otros festivales que
I will take with me for a long, long time. Thank you very much.
Me han dado unos premios realmente enormes que ni siquiera me puedo llevar conmigo, pero este realmente lo voy a considerar muy cerca de mí. Muchas gracias.